My ex, 31M, wants the dog back after cheating on me and getting his boss pregnant. Get ready, grab some popcorn and get comfortable, because I am getting you details, for better understanding. My ex, 30M, let's call him Kelvin, and I, 24F, were together for a few months already and decided to adopt a beautiful pitbull puppy. I was already living with Kelvin for this and thought it was a great idea since he worked a lot and the puppy would keep me company. Now, this next is some background, but I promise it's relevant to my choice and hopefully give you a better idea of where I'm coming from. I met Kelvin in my hometown where I used to live with my parents, fell in love with him, and we moved together to his city, Mexico City, where I could keep studying and he could get a better paying job. I didn't know the city or anyone there, so I had nothing else to do but study online since this was during the pandemic. I tried getting a job, but was hard with my schedule. A couple of weeks after we moved, he and I came up with the idea to adopt a puppy to keep me company. We found one on FB Marketplace, paid for his vaccinations and fees, and got him home, a small studio apartment. Kelvin took the role of provider since I'm still in med school and couldn't work a full-time job without falling behind or leaving the puppy alone for way too much time. We both decided he would take on the responsibility of working and paying bills. I, in return, would take care of the apartment, clean, cook meals, do laundry, take care of the dog, basic household chores. I was also happy with it, so it was a mutual agreement. My parents would periodically send a small amount of money for me since I'm still in school, but were not happy with my decision of moving with this guy I barely knew and they never met. I wished I listened, but I was too in love and stubborn to see the flaws in my decision. Fast forward months later, things were not so great. We loved each other very much, but were so different. We fought a lot. Kelvin was incredibly jealous and possessive, even though I spent all my time in the apartment, only went out to do errands, supermarket, and dog park, almost to the point of becoming violent. I couldn't stop regretting my choice of being in a foreign city, all alone, with no one I know near, and didn't want to go back to my parents and listen to them tell me they were right. Fragile ego. I kept through it because I loved him. Like, really loved him even after all his flaws. Now I know it was barely love, but that has taken me a lot of work in therapy and medication. A few months later, my school, in my hometown, announces we were going back to normal activities and I should be there by fall. He's mad we have to go, but agrees to move there, just while I finish school, my last semester. We make all the arrangements and even fly the dog, Rocky, 6 months old, to my hometown. My parents offer us to stay in a house they own and have for rent in the outskirts of town, a 20 to 25-minute drive from downtown, rent-free. They were just happy to have me back in town and see me in a loving relationship. Kelvin wasn't happy at all. Kept complaining about the house, it was indeed a bit old and needed repairs, and how my parents are only just now supporting us since I'm back in their town, where they wanted me. I tell him it's a great opportunity since we're only paying for the services like water, gas, and internet, and the money we would otherwise spend on rent could go towards repairs, paint, new doors, and knobs, renovating, etc. And once I'm done with school, we could rent it and keep the money as extra income. This was with my parents' permission, of course. I even tell him we didn't have to stay there, we could look for something else. He eventually agrees to stay there only while we find something better. I even go and get a job at my old part-time job. I'm friends with the manager, so she was flexible with the hours since she knew I was still in school, because I wanted to contribute a bit more to our home, still doing laundry, cooking, etc. Not even a month later, I'm sensing something off. He's super irritable, more than usual, and anything and everything would annoy him. I decided to go through his phone while he showered. I know, so bad, but something was bugging me. And that was the first and only time I did it, determined to find answers. And I did. The last message were to this person, let's call her Leah, 34F. Which I knew only by name since she was his old boss back in Mexico City and he would occasionally mention her in job-related conversations. She's from another country, let's say from where Netflix's The Crown takes place, and significantly older than me. She comes from a well-accommodated family, and has her own business in her country, and also in Mexico City. Leah and Calvin have been friends for some time and she offered him a great paying job in her business. This happened while I was living with Calvin too, though I never had a second thought about them. I kept scrolling through their conversation, getting curious since they call each other babe, which was odd. Then some sexting, songs he sent me as well, texting as he would text me, and then I find out she's pregnant. There are pictures and everything, some explicit ones, some of her and her bump. I am speechless. I couldn't process what I had just seen. And then it hits me like 1,000 bricks. I am the side piece, basically. She was already 6 months pregnant. Calvin and I were together for almost a year. I got cheated on early into our relationship. My world starts to shatter into a million pieces, all our plans, all our love. Gone. I am in tears, dumbfounded, and couldn't believe it. Of course, I confront him. He is ashamed and in tears as well. He starts telling me how he doesn't love her, that she threatened to not let him see the baby if he wasn't with her, in a relationship. That's why he kept messaging her and sexting and basically having another relationship. I could just not find it reason enough not to talk to me the minute he found out, how he could have lied for months, kiss me and sleep in the same bed as me when he knew something so important. Lied to my face and keep making plans with me as if his life wasn't about to change forever. Apology after apology, I kick him out. I knew he was low on money and struggling, but I didn't care and told him to go back to Mexico City, to collect his things and go be with his child, that he had nothing else to do here. He reluctantly did it. He also wanted to take the dog right then and there, back to Mexico City, but couldn't afford it. I told him to get his sh*t together in Mexico City and then come back for the dog if he wanted to. I was attached to Rocky, but I still loved Calvin so very much and knew he loved Rocky as much as I, so I was willing to give him up since I too struggled with money and had to go back to my parents' house, couldn't keep the dog either. Calvin flies to Mexico City, and then to Leah's country where she will be having the child. Never coming for Rocky, which I understand. I, devastated and feeling like a fool, moved back to my parents' house, ashamed and now with a 30 kg/66 pounds pit bull to look after. My parents are angels and let me keep him. With my part-time job I could continue taking care of Rocky. They helped me with vet visits, food if needed, and sitting if necessary. I am eternally grateful for them and can now appreciate everything they have ever done for me and my siblings, and now Rocky. 2 weeks after Calvin leaves, I am not feeling well. I find out I'm pregnant. I thought the world was laughing at me, as if life was pulling me the cruelest joke. I was pregnant, too. 2 women pregnant in the world at the same time, from the same guy. Sigh. By this moment I am beyond angry, with myself mostly and with this man who cheated on me, who decided to hurt me deliberately and then go be with the person he cheated with and start a new family. I was around 2 months in when I found out, mostly because I was feeling like sh*t. I thought it was just the depression, the duel of the messy breakup. But heck no. The morning, all day, sickness was too much, headaches, mood swings, the crying. It was awful, and not normal at all. Took a quick test and the next day a blood test. Positive. Well, sh*t. Almost immediately I call him, cursing him and his stupid p*nas. We used protection, and I was on hormonal contraceptives. He feels awful because he loves me, and he said he would support any decision I wanted. As if I had a choice. From the moment I saw the plus on the stick, I knew what would I be doing. I knew what I should be doing. I was having an abortion. Living with my parents, no school finished, no career, no income, and no stable partner. I could just not do it, and would not do that to that baby. I've always dreamed of something different, bringing a baby into the world, into a loving and caring family, and having the resources to give him or her the best life possible. It was not time yet. It was just not my time. And not something I wanted. I can now talk about it, but it still brings tears to my eyes. Even though it was the right choice for me, for my future, and for that future baby I will be having someday, under the right circumstances. I don't regret it, but no one has an abortion just because they want to. I've made my peace with it, and can now see that was the right call, for me. Kelvin supported my choice, not before trying to convince me to have it. And by the support I mean he said okay to my decision and sent me money just for the ultrasound, like 50 DLLs maybe, I needed before the abortion process. Keep in mind I'm from Mexico, where abortion is still illegal in most states, so you have to be super careful with whom and where you go to. In other words, expensive, but not impossible. Still, the hardest thing I've been through. I had my friends' support, but never told my parents, couldn't bring myself to it since I knew they would have convinced me to keep it, and they would have supported me all the way, but it was just not right for me, not under those circumstances. I get through it by myself, just a couple of my closest friends knew, pay for the abortion and ultrasounds I needed. Him in another continent playing house with Leah. For them, the baby is a reality, and it is happening to them. Not for me. That was hard as sh*t, took me almost a year to get over it. To even write about it. Therapy and medication, friend support, keeping me busy with Rocky and school, I'm finished yay, about to start my internship. Things start looking up. I'm still with my parents and have their full support, even with having a 60-pound dog they help me look after when I'm at the hospital. Having Rocky really helped me through my process, he is the sweetest, most loyal dog ever. Always by my side, sleeping in my bed, being the house favorite. So I push myself out of bed every morning and give him a walk, to keep me active in the evenings and cheerful on dog school on weekends, because being depressed in bed all day was not good for a puppy. Or for me. I have Rocky to thank for getting me through all that sh*t last year. He still does. Every hike, every walk we take, every trip to Petco to get his food. Every single moment, he reminds me of how strong I've been, of what I'm capable of overcoming. And who are the ones worth loving? A few weeks ago, Kelvin contacted me. We went no contact a few months after my abortion. I kept an IG account of Rocky to upload pictures cause Kelvin asked for some the first weeks he was away, and I didn't want to contact him directly, so I told him to follow that page if he was interested in knowing about Rocky. Of course, I didn't follow him back or DM him. Just posted pics of Rocky. He's got a few followers now, mostly friends of mine who love Rocky. So, Kelvin contacted me after months of not knowing of each other. I keep posting pics now and then, but not as regularly as I used to the first months Kelvin left. I genuinely thought he would come back for Rocky maybe a week or two after I kicked him out. He didn't. I got too invested in Rocky, so I assumed the dog was mine now since I took care of him as well the first months he was a puppy, and now is 1 year old. Kelvin contacted me a few weeks ago. He asked for the dog back. He said he wanted to keep the dog, or at least rotate him 6 months each. He wanted me to castrate Rocky, then put him in a cage, fly him in cargo, since he is a pit bull he cannot fly in the cabin, for 16 hours, all alone, in an airplane going to another continent. He also wanted me to pay for it. He made it sound like it was the least I could do since he supported me for months. Let me remind you that was an agreement we both made and we both thought was the best choice for us both, but he made it sound like I took advantage of him and I owe him. I'm 100,000% keeping the dog, he is my world. I've supported Rocky all this time, taking care of him and doing everything necessary for Rocky to have a balanced, healthy lifestyle. Dog school, vet visits, quality food, walks, hikes, everything. I needed somewhere to vent to, and possibly get some insight on this. AITA for keeping the dog, even though my ex bought it? And even after he cheated, and got someone else pregnant? Also, should I consider sharing custody of the dog? Would that be necessary? I'm a bit scared he could come and take the dog away from me. or not give it back at all? Let me know what you think, and if you think I'm the a-hole, or what would you do in my position? Now let's look at the comments. You don't owe Kelvin shit. Plus I don't think Rocky would enjoy being carted around. If he wants a dog so bad, there are usually plenty available for adoption. Nope, nope, and nope. You owe him nothing, nothing at all. Don't agree to give him back. Does he have proof of having purchased the dog? Is the dog registered to him? If he comes to claim the dog, make small folder, make him pay all the bills, dog school, vet cost, grooming costs, food, everything you paid until now. Why the hell don't you block this guy? Keep all the evidence that he was aware of your abortion, and if he continues to bother you, send it to his partner. They don't even live in the same country, you don't owe him anything. I don't know why you keep him in your life.